What's up, NBA fan? What's up, all sports fan? This your boy JB, host of the Behind the Bench podcast network and channel. Giving a shout out to the rest of the crew, for everyone who's tuning in. I hope that you support Behind the Bench, become a subscriber, and help make this show the best that it can be. I want to talk about this sharpshooter right here, man. Trey Murphy. Drafted by the New Orleans Pelicans in 2021 with the 17th pick out of the University of Virginia. And if I'm not mistaken, he was the best three-point shooter in his draft class, in this year's draft class. And this was a steal by the Pelicans, considering he was still available deep in the draft like that with the 17th pick. You would have thought another team would have nabbed him up beforehand. But he's entering his third season. Now, mind you, this is a player which we've seen, in the past with players where they grow taller, a year or two after being drafted. Well, according to report, Murphy is now 6'10", where I believe he was 6'9" when he entered the draft in 2021, and he may be a little taller than that, to tell you the truth. He may be more like 6'11". But what's scary about this guy is that with the height he has, he can revolutionize the 3-and-D position, especially when it comes to shooting. In tonight's action, the New Orleans Pelicans beat the Washington Wizards on the road by the score of 142-122. And Murphy, who returned back early this month after suffering a minor knee injury during a training camp, and he's rounding into form in the most definitive way. And tonight, he scored 27 points, and he was hitting crazy threes. And, it's almost like he could potentially become a 6'10" Klay Thompson. That's what we're looking at. And we all know who Klay Thompson is, part of the Splash Brothers with Steph Curry and Golden State Warriors. But this guy is 6'10". And think about it, he don't have to shoot a lot. He don't need a lot of shot attempts to make an impact on offense. He was 6 or 7 behind the arc, 7-8 from free throw line, but he has a potential. Last year in the second year, he achieved the famed 50-40-90 split. 50% shooting from the field, 40% shooting from behind the arc, and 90% shooting behind the charity stripe, better known as the free throw line. He's 50-40-90 in his third year. Usually when you see a player achieve 50-40-90 splits, that's around the time where they start hitting their prime. And it's not something that we see, on the regular. It's more an exception to the rule rather than the rule to the exception. But he's already achieved that mark in that split in his second year. So they have someone who is beyond what they call the X factor. He's the XYZ factor. Because the thing about it is, when his shot is falling, now, the defense has to respect you, and then that creates, driving lanes to the basket. Now, remember, he competed in last year's slam dunk contest where he was runner-up in that event, when he's not known for being a slam, a great prominent slam dunker, but he was the runner-up in last year's contest. So you couple that with his shooting ability, and he's only going to get better. I mean, this is a guy who can wind up as a shooter supreme, 50-40-90 split. He can wind up averaging 50-40-90. I mean, not 50, 49, but 25, 26 points a game per average. By the time, let's say, it could be as early as his fourth year, but I'm going to say by his fifth year, that you'll start seeing his potential as a player, which will make the Pelicans even more dangerous down the road. And my God, man, you know, the guy can shoot. Like his range is unlimited. And like he shoots it like he's shooting a 15, 18 footer. See, that's the thing. And he's 6'10". So it's really hard to contest his shot, you know. But yeah, this guy's the real deal. And this is one of the, if not the biggest steal of that draft by the Pelicans in 2021. And I can't see anything other than him getting better and more confident. And think about it. If he adds some mid-range game to his shooting ability behind the arc, I mean, at that point, we could be talking about, all-star level. And then beyond, who knows? But that's the importance of drafting. Because you never, if you don't draft players and give them draft picks and try to go win now, you never give yourself a chance to find out who you could actually draft and what that player could turn into in due time. So, yeah, we're going to be hearing more from Trey Murphy III, as they call him, Trigger Trey, down there in New Orleans. So I just want to drop that nugget. And until next time, throughout the NBA season, this is JB for BTB Behind the Bench.